Right, I'm delighted to have Brew here to chat about his new LP called Legacy. And obviously, Brew Legacy is like, it's like a legacy, it's like a best of. So it's a 5-track LP, and the first track, Someway. What's it about?
Oh, Someway. Well, I suppose we can't leave out that song, could we? It's kind of like the staple song almost of the band. But actually, Someway is interesting though, because when I came back to Ireland, I think I only had like one or two songs, under my belt, before I formed Bluesun, and one of them was Someway. So that was kind of like, again, I wasn't sure if this was gonna be a hit. I kind of brought that song over with me from England, when
Hmm.
I was in London, and I had demoed it with an English band I had there, and so I thought, okay, let's redo it and see what it sounds like. And then I kind of had to, because it would have been kind of false to, maybe use the English recording, then you have this Irish lineup. It's like, well, that's a different band. Who is that? You know what I mean? So
And with the original version of that you did, say, if you want to say in England or London, like the version that we're hearing on Legacy, like
yeah.
is it very, very different, or is it just
The,
different feel?
yeah, it's a different feel. I mean, it's still, I mean, it's intrinsically the same song.
Mm,
I mean, some people argue maybe the English one rocks harder. I mean, but the song is still pretty much the same.
mm,
Actually, I was talking to the guitar player in that song. He's from New Zealand, and he was saying, yeah, he was kind of wondering, why'd you re-record it? What's going on there? Did you not think our version rocked enough? Yeah, it did, but again, I'm coming back to Ireland, and I'm forming a new band called Bluesun, and obviously, the current that lineup would want to re-record, whatever songs I had, but that particular song, Some Way, which is on the surface is kind of like a love song, whatever. But again, it's one of those I had literally just like a couple of songs, in my arsenal.
yeah.
And then you
And
try to, hi guys, I want to form a band. I only have two songs.
yeah, but I mean, I suppose maybe as you've become more, confident or more you've had more musical experience, then maybe, as you said, when you look back on some way, you feel that, oh, it's great to give it another go, another slant,
Yeah.
another flavor, maybe.
Or some people might say, hey, wow, some way he got talented.
Yeah. But I mean, what's it
uh,
like listening to it lyrically, like,
oh,
what is it? What does it mean, and what does it mean for you personally?
mm. See, I like to think the songs are not autobiographical, so I write in the third person, and because
Mm,
and then I like making people guess. Oh, is that about him or is that about somebody else? You know what I mean? Uh,
mm,
but I guess on the surface, the lyrics, I think it's kind of like a rocky love song almost. It's not it's not like lyrically they almost comes across like a ballady kind of
yeah,
puppy kind of thing, and I'm not lovesick. I got my guitar. I don't need anybody else.
yeah.
Anything else. I got the guitar and I got the music. I got the band. What I need a partner for? You know
But I
what I mean?
suppose, all of your songs that we go through, we discuss the rest are all obviously, you know, personal experiences that you've met,
Uh,
you've had through this rich tapestry of your life, as we'd call it.
well, I think it's me, kind of eavesdropping on everybody else's experiences and writing about it. I
Yeah.
said, now you better be careful. You don't want to play that in front of me because I'm going to write about it and make it into a song. Like what? How? And that's in one of the songs on this track. Definitely, I blatantly kind of, saw a situation happening, and I said, wow, this would make good for a good song. And they're like, so are you writing about us?
On
Yeah,
a,
because
on
my
a,
life
yeah,
is my life
sort
is
of like,
so boring. So I figured I better write about somebody else.
yeah, well, that's what I was thinking on a lighter note before we listen
Yeah.
to Some Way. I mean, do you find that your friends now don't talk around you because they're afraid
You know
to
what I
say,
mean? Yeah. No wonder they don't hang out. So I'm like Billy No
"Mm,
makes. Well,
yeah,
the way I see it, more beer for me, I guess. Cheap round.
that's it. It's
But
good.
yeah, but some way, yeah. I think I again when I first wrote that song, I had no idea it was going to be a big song. In fact, in England, it was well known, but it wasn't like big. I
Mm,
think it got bigger here, I
yeah.
think, than it did in England. Because I wrote the tail end of my time in London, and so I didn't really have time to kind of just state it, and just kind of get. I mean, we made this demo in the Blue Tone studio in Surrey, and Someway was one of the songs in it.
Mm,
And then I think like a year later, I'm suddenly on a plane back to Dublin. With only like, I said, oh, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to form this new band. I'm going to need some songs we need some songs so we can actually have a reason to rehearse.
So it was probably, as I say, the vibe from the Irish audience made Someway, you said, was, maybe I'm not saying didn't suit, but just gave a different vibe, and you said, wow, maybe need to redo.
I mean, if anything, I think the Irish audience will probably, after they hear this, they're probably wondering, well, what's the English version like now? So they go hide and seek.
That could be the bonus. That could be the bonus CD, the bonus LP.
Yeah. Well, it could be. I got to see if I can find it myself. But...
Yeah. So I suppose, look, what we'll do is we'll give you a little rest, and then we'll play Someway, and then we'll chat a bit later after that.
Cool.
Destiny of change is surely close at hand. The fences we could mend, to which there's no end. This can't be the end. Some way I will have you. Some way show you, 'cause I want to hold you, love you day by day, some way. Embark upon a path. Whatever happened to love? Tell me whatever happened to love?
Right, we're talking to Brew about his new LP, Legacy. And before we start talking about the second track, Whatever Happened to Love, I don't even need to tell you, Brew, what the order is, because you know what the order is. Legacy, great name, by the way, not just a sort of greatest hits. Why, I suppose, go on, you tell me, why'd you go with Legacy rather than just the greatest hits of Brew?
Well, I think Legacy is a more interesting title as opposed to greatest hits, And how do you know? I mean, they could be personal faves for all I know, or they could be, the audience's favorites. I thought, when I was speaking to the the record label, we're all thinking, oh, Legacy. This album has to show your legacy, and I thought, that's it. That's the title. Let's call it Legacy instead of here we go again, greatest hits. When I know personally, when I see greatest hits, unless I really love the band, I won't buy it. Never mind, click on it and open it to see what the listing. I just say, but then Legacy kind of makes it kind of this lasting impression, because in a way these songs are kind of like, some of these songs have lasted 2 decades. You know what I mean? And so I guess in itself that's a legacy. And they withstood the test of time. And what do you know? But I wonder, is the next set going to be called Legacy 2 or?
Yeah. Next, what happened next, chapter 2? But I must say, I listened to this Whatever Happened to Love, and I really loved it. I love all the tracks on it. And this again, to me anyway, felt like sort of like, nearly like, I wouldn't say like Shakespeare, love's labour's lost and all of that. Really like heartfelt. What happened to love? So again, what's the story? What's the story behind it?
I think it's about. I wanted to call it Whatever Happened to Lust.
Yeah.
But then they said apparently that wasn't too PC. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. Well, this song, well, to me, obviously, power ballad, whatever you want to call it. I have yet to get that power ballad production on it achieved. But right now, the original version is a very almost a cinematic version, like a movie soundtrack. I think it's the keyboards at the end that were. We did this song in Jam Studios in Kells, County Meath.
Lovely.
and the engineer put these kind of cinematic kind of keyboards in there, you know, almost like strings. And I said, wow, it sounds like a movie soundtrack, you know.
And when you're say writing or whatever, like is that, like, say for instance, if we're talking about Whatever Happened to Love, is that what comes into your mind? Did you write, okay, you wrote it as a ballad type love ballad, but
Yeah.
like that's where you say about production, does that just happen in the studio, or do you say, no, I feel a real cinematic feel to this?
Well, I didn't think cinematic at all. It sort of happened, you know, when you hear those strings at the end there, whatever, you know, it gives the song a whole different vibe. And then to me, like, for lack of a better word, movie soundtrack. I said, oh, this is a movie sound, but it's not like I sat down and said, okay, I'm going to write a movie soundtrack, because you never know what song ends up in a movie.
But that's what I love about you, and talking to sort of other musicians as well, like that.
Yeah.
That I know you. I'm not. Don't take this the wrong way, but like, what I'm saying is that you're not very particular about the song. Like if somebody says, "Oh, let's bring in some violins, let's make it more cinematic," you're sort of, you sit back and go, "Yeah, that could work, man. Let's have a listen." You're not very, "Oh no, I wrote this as a acoustic guitar."
Yeah, I know some bands and some writers are like that. They can pre-plan. Like I said, I mean, I'm lucky if the guitar's in tune and I'm actually on point with everything I'm doing on the performance. And then I listen to the end product and I say, oh, okay. And sometimes one might start off as a ballad, could turn to a hard rock song or something. But Whatever Happened to Love is definitely it's been one of those timeless, elegant songs that again, a lot of rock bands, they just don't play ballads during their live set, But then again, what do they remember most when they go to the show? They remember the ballad, because that sticks out like a sore thumb almost. And
yeah, because
ballad, and
yeah, and as you say, it's sort of like sometimes with those sort of like ballads and rock ballads, they're timeless. Is that like you could be playing it in 30, 40, 50 years?
Oh yeah, look at Aerosmith. Even some Zeppelin songs. On the surface they're love songs, but they're these big giant ballads. Bon Jovi. And we then, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, it's funny because sometimes when I perform Whatever Happened to Love, I kind of throw in some Bon Jovi lyrics there, and they say, "Wait, is that a Bon Jovi song?" And I say, "Yeah, we wrote together back in the day when we were in high school." Yeah.
But probably what it does show is the influence. Your influence is very, very wide.
Oh yeah, I mean it takes balls to do a ballad, and then when I did that song at the Pride show, that was amazing, because again the theme of that song fit in perfectly for that particular show, because it's all about loving each other, whatever, and this we need more love in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I suppose now, like it must be great for you. You probably find people when they come to your shows, probably that's the song that sticks in their head.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that in Someway, because I mean, actually Someway and Whatever Happened to Love got me the publishing deal.
That's great.
My first publishing deal. It was kind of like, and it wasn't like the publisher wanted all the songs. He said, okay, he happened to choose two of my biggest songs. There's got to be a reason for that. I mean, well, it only tells me the song is good. I'm not quite sure what the reason is exactly, but because why did they not pick two rock songs or something? But then again, Whatever Happened to Love? I mean, it is a rock ballad, but eventually that will have to be redone so we can really elevate it to that status, because it's dying for it, and the more I perform it, it's definitely it's trying to,
morph into something else.
Exactly, but again, to me, it was just a song. I'm just like, oh, it's like, oh, why can't I score? But then they probably thought I was talking about drugs.
Yeah. But look, what we're gonna do is, now people are probably saying, look, let's hear what the guys are talking about. So listen, let's have a listen to Whatever Happened to Love.
down to you every day and night. See how I am by the way I down my pint. Tell you the way I think my life is going. You listen to me, but you really have no way of knowing. Oh, I need to tell you now. What would it take to come clean now? When we reach the part where the bonding is to start, where I'll be on my own again, a heart and hands, my only friend. Whatever happened to love? Tell me whatever happened to love? Whatever happened to love? Tell me whatever happened. I got dumped and I wasn't even half. You ran away and left.
Right, we're still going. We're on to track 3, and this is not about a bin man that's lost his job. It's called Dumped, baby. So, Brew, what is it about? Is it about a bin man that lost his job, or are you bringing out the bins? Tell us.
Or maybe I got binned. You know.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy the live shows. The introduction is always funny. All right, everybody. I wrote this song on Valentine's night, and it's called Dumped. You know, so that kind of gets a chuckle out of them.
Yeah.
A few peeps, and then but then the ones who are really in the know are like, wait a minute, it ain't autobiographical. He ain't getting nobody ever. I'm like, nah, that's true. But no, but basically, I want to have a song that was the complete antithesis of every other song about getting dumped. You know, instead of feeling sorry for yourself and woe is me, I got dumped and nobody loves me anymore. Screw that. The way I see it, the person that got dumped is now free. He or she has his life back. They're like, yes, I get the remote back. I'm in control. I get to save money. I get no more drama in my life. You know, again, most everybody writes the complete opposite. Oh, you got dumped. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Not me.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Yeah, well, I think I like it. That's when I was listening to it. That's what sort of struck me. And you know, okay, look, we all have good days and bad days, but with me, I think you always have maybe more sort of good days than bad days. And I think the dumped, as you say quite rightly, it's just the complete opposite. You know, if I was looking at this and I saw, like, when we're looking at the track listing and we were just talking there about the second track, Whatever Happened to Love, you think, oh, this is going to be lovely and warm and cuddly. Oh Jesus, track 3 is dumped. And you think,
and the live shows as well, Gary. The live show, every time we perform Whatever Happened to Love, dumped usually comes right after it.
Yeah. But that's what I love about it, is that it is, as you said, like, you know, it is about being dumped, but it's the happy, well, not the happy side, maybe.
And there's a line in there as well. There's one of the lines, I think that's how I started the song, because it's a reggae song. It's all bass. I want that deep kind of, you know, almost kind of like Stranglers type bass, you know. I think it came with the bass line first, you know. You know, there's a, you know, but it is a bass song. And again, going back to that, my favorite line is, your loss is my only glory. You know what I mean? So
yeah. But it's, as you say, it's taking the positive, and that's what I always love about your songwriting and stuff like that. There's always a different slant.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to make it more interesting, because nobody would ever write about celebrating being dumped. They'd be the complete opposite. You know, woe is me. Listen, nobody cares about you people. It's just that, you know, you can feel bad for someone getting dumped, but maybe it's good for you that you got dumped, especially in this world of toxicity. You know, you're probably better off out of the relationship as opposed to, you know, and believe me, I got the T-shirts and all that.
That's it. And when we
won't go there.
Well, yeah. When was it? Like, is it a recent? is it recent? Did you write it recently, or again, is it one of your sort of earlier tracks that you're?
Well, it'd be early-ish in the sense that, okay, we had a bit of sadness, tragedy in the original Bluesun. The bass player passed away, and I think I kind of stopped doing music or making any kind of music for 2 years. So when Didnt came along, that was meant to be our kind of like our, reintroduction to the Dublin music scene and to the music world in general, and relaunching ourselves. And I think we actually had the launch in New York first, and then the guitar player at the time, Phil Conway, he just joined the band, and we recorded that song, and I think his third gig with us. Oh, by the way, we're launching in New York, and then he's never been to America, never mind New York, and suddenly he's on stage in New York. We're premiering Didnt to an American audience first, and so he was kind of like, oh my God, I'm only in the band like 4 minutes, and suddenly I'm in New York playing Didnt, and maybe the bin men liked it, I know.
I think I can see the merchandise. I can see the T-shirts and all that type of stuff on it. But I mean, what again, as you said, like showing the worldly side of your music, like premiering it. Geez, I can't even say that. Put my teeth back in New York. I mean, you're originally from New York.
I think that was 2011. I think it was. I think we did 2011. 2011.
Yeah, because you relaunched in 2010.
We launched in 2020. Yeah, so it was probably like 2011. I think we did that. We came back in the scene with that. I think that was, maybe I'm getting the dates wrong. I don't know. But again, I remember that. I mean, that's 10 years ago. I mean, to me, it's recent. To me, it was only yesterday. But I mean, how time goes so fast. But I remember that particular song was literally the relaunch, and it's a reggae song. You know what I mean? Because we had another reggae song called London Life in our repertoire, but that never really got recorded properly. But Didnt seemed to be okay. Let's make that the relaunch.
And you're definitely, when you're talking about, you've got your rock, you've got your sort of your ballads, you've got your reggae. You're certainly not a man that likes to be pigeonholed. No,
definitely not. No, and that song is basically Bob Marley and Def Leppard having a cup of tea with the Sex Pistols.
Very good.
You have 3 distinct musical styles in the one song: punk, reggae, and hard rock. No one ever does that,
Nobody does it. Right. Well, look, what we're going to do is we're going to have a listen to Didnt.
I want to hear it too.
Yeah. Okay.
And may you all get dumped and write great songs.
Yeah.
Even
And we're back. We're still talking to Brew here about his brand new LP that's coming out, Legacy. And Brew, one of the things I didn't ask you was, do we have a release date or what?
Oh yeah, December 1st. The
Brilliant.
1st December, depending where you are. Yeah, it's the 1st December, the very first day of December, and it's on pre-save. So I'm sure the links are floating around in the interweb world.
on Tinternet, as Peter Kay would say. So in relation to, is there we'll do the formalities and the old administration, as they do say. Do we have physical releases, or is it all digital?
Unfortunately, it's all digital.
It's all digital.
Yeah, because it can't handle vinyl apparently, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I should say. Well, I don't know. To me, I think it's very weird. I mean, if I were a new generation kid today, I only be dealing with digital. I'd be like, "Where's the vinyl, dude?"
Yeah.
Where's the cassette? Even better.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about track 4, which is called Scraping, and one of the things that sort of got me straight away at this lyric wise is you shouting at people. I'm using that metaphorically. You shouting at people, "Give me 5ers, 10ers, whatever you've got."
Yeah, whatever you can spare.
Yeah.
In other words, give me money, give some cash, because we're all broke. Okay, scraping. Where do I start?
At the beginning.
Once upon a time, Gary.
Yeah. Brew was born in America.
Now fast forward.
Yeah.
So fast forward to Ireland. Yeah. Basically, there was the big crash happened, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
The big, some people say the banking crash, whatever. Basically, there was a crash, and our show was worldwide, but of course, I'm thinking in my small little world here in Ireland. Well, it's more apparent here, and and things changed, and people were losing their jobs, or things got really expensive. I mean, in some ways, this particular song could go back to the very days when we changed from Irish pound to euros.
Punt to the euro.
Punt, exactly. Yeah. And do you remember the slogans back then? There were big billboards. The change is in your pocket. Oh yeah, the change was definitely in my pocket. There was no more change. Everything got expensive, and everybody thought I was just moaning about, I mean, I don't care what anybody says. I'm here long enough to know. I remember getting a pint for like $2.50. You can get pissed on a $5. Now, ever since the euro, everything went up. I mean, it's just like everything went up. And, so you were.
I liked the other thing as well, where you were saying, one of the lyrics is sort of saying, I'm in need of repair. And is that like, again, not that you're a bicycle with a slow puncture? Like, are we talking physically, mentally?
Yeah, I was equating myself to a car in need of repair. So that's just run down, because you feel like you're using this new currency, taxes, everything's going up, and normal goods are going up. You feel like you're always stuck with cash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I kind of wanted to write some kind of political statement, if you will, because again, none of my songs are political. I don't think they are anyway. But this one was definitely, there was a political edge to this song, and some people thought, "Oh, are you slagging off bankers?" And well, in one part I am, but everybody else was slagging them, so why not just join in? I mean, it's just like I mean, because I remember, years previous, back in the Celtic Tiger days, the banks and everybody was throwing money at me. That money that I didn't need. Do you want a 10,000 euro credit limit? I didn't need it. They just gave it to me, overdraft, whatever. And then in today's world, you try to get an overdraft now for 20 euros. You're probably
I do remember that in the, if you want to say, the good old days, that I do remember even getting post in the door, and like the post would be a sort of a specimen check, and it would have, made out to you, pre-guaranteed 20,000, and whatever. And then like the other thing, I think, even, I know what you're saying, it's about money and stuff like that, but I even think scraping now is perfectly ideal for these times we live in with COVID.
Yeah, well, we're still scraping.
Still scraping.
We're still scraping, and it was kind of like and how did scraping come about? Well, I was invited to for my birthday weekend to go to London for a songwriters weekend, you know. And I remember trying to scrape the cash together to go. And one of my beloved dear mates who passed on, Barry Prout, fair play to him, you know, he just said, listen, how much do you need? You know, and then out of the blue, he said, oh, here you go. You're going. Happy birthday. Knock yourself out. And, you know, but again, that whole, and then when I got to London, I needed an idea for the final project, if you will, you know, the final song to be recorded. And then I thought, okay, what can I write about? You know, so, well, let's write about how I came to get to London, how I had to scrape the cash from little bits here and there just to afford the plane fare and the hotel fees and the course fee as well. You know, and
is that where that other lyric in the song came from? That opportunity, the opportunity knocks once.
Yeah, I guess that was the opportunity. Yeah, that this whole songwriting weekend, and it ended up being a giant opportunity because we had Your Mountain Squeeze was one of the speakers.
Glenn Tilbrook, was it?
No. Yeah, and then I recorded the original demo with Martin Stevenson and the Dainties. They're like an '80s folk band. And they were there. I mean, and then we had all these heads from PRS coming in. You know, so we had some. You know, half these guys were my heroes lecturing me on how to write a song. I'm like, oh my god, you know, and
could we even rewind and just, I'm not saying be negative, but think of, you know, the way like sometimes there's always FATE. I'm a huge believer in it, and thinking of where would Brew be if, what were you saying? Your friend's name that passed away, Barry, was it?
Yeah.
If he hadn't given you that money to go for that opportunity, would we be? When I say Jesus, what am I saying? I'm not releasing this album. When I say would we still be here talking about Legacy?
Yeah, it does make you wonder because I actually had the riff of scraping for about 11 years. Wow. You know, and I liked it, so I just kept it, but I didn't know what to do with it. I just kind of shoved it away, but it was there, and I just, you know, I keep like a bank of riffs, and
that's what I was going to say. Just ask you with the thing, do you record them, Brew, or do you keep them just in that noggin of yours?
Oh no, I record them. Yeah, I'm old school. I hear Exhibit A, hey,
tape recorder.
Yeah. I know all these guys have these Mac Pro books, and you know these fancy Bandcamp whatever software. I got this, and I mean I keep TDK in business in the shop.
Yeah.
You know, so
just as an aside, when you're talking about I'm a child of the 80s myself, can you still buy tapes?
Oh yeah. And I still buy them, and it's so funny. You know, like you see the people are kind of like, oh, you're the one buying the tapes, and it's like, you know, I mean, it's kind of a drag having to go through all the tapes to try to find the riff, you know, because it could be like, you know, I mark all the tapes, on, works in progress, number 1, works in progress 15, like, where's that riff? And you kind of have, it's like an adventure trying to go through the tapes and find where that riff is, because it's not titled because it has those.
How often, Brew, have you, before we listen to Scraping, how often have you been in your house with a pencil in a cassette trying to rewind the spools after it's got caught in the machine?
You know,
those days.
I have found a new distraction from Netflix during lockdown. I can spend all the time going through all the tapes now, and you know, there's nothing else to do, so I watch. But then either by the batteries. Yeah. Thank God that's an essential item. But yeah, scraping. I was stuck for cash, and like we all were, you know. But I know there were some people who just thought, well, I think you're unfairly, you know, making this a banker's problem. You know, well, listen. If the majority of people are saying that, you know, they had something to do with it, then they can't all be wrong, you know. But and plus, it kind of, you know, I think people there's a protest bit in the middle 8 of that song, you know. It sounds like I'm singing through a foghorn, I think, actually. You know, to make it sound like we're doing a protest on O'Connell Street, you know. Hey, you bankers.
That's it. But look, let's stop talking about scraping and let's have a listen, okay?
All right.
Beautiful.
Scrape it.
right. We're talking to Brew here about Legacy, his LP digital release that's going to be out on the 1st of December. And we're down to the final track. And this is where we hear all the groans. No, no,
No.
don't let her go.
Or maybe they're rejoicing. Finally, thank God.
Finally, thank God. No, but I think it's when you looked. First of all, I must say I love all the tracks. But did it take a long time to get the listing, the order you wanted the tracks in? Because personally, I think this is a fantastic, upbeat, positive finish.
Oh, well, I mean, sometimes this song has ended shows because we always get that warning from the sound man. Okay, lads, you got 2 minutes left, then you got to fuck off the stage, blah, 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 you know. So I thought, okay, you know what? This time I'm gonna write a 2-minute song. So when that horrible announcement comes into the monitors, you know, I said, okay, no problem, dude. I'm ready for you. All right, let's do Don't Let Her Go. It's exactly 2 minutes and 14 seconds or whatever it is.
Yeah, and I think it's got sounds of the influences of that sort of particularly, I know they're probably your favorite band, the Pretenders. I think there's that sort of Back on the Chain Gang type, that guitar on it, to me anyway. I
could live on hope. I don't know. That's a compliment. Yeah, great.
Bit of Cheap Trick thrown in there.
Cheap Trick, not prime influence from day one. Yeah, prime influence. Because after a while, I got out of the bubblegum rock, and my cousin in New Jersey said, "Hey, I think you need to listen. You got to hear this. Cheap Trick at Budokan on vinyl, kids." Wow.
And that changed your life, was it?
Oh, the devil entered my soul.
Yeah. So in Don't Let Her Go, again, this 2 minute, tell us the story, because the one thing I feel very upbeat, it's very positive, and then I love the mentions of this trophy girlfriend. So do tell us all about this trophy girlfriend.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, this is definitely a soap opera scene happening right in front of me. I'm back in London, okay, you know, and well, you know, I wasn't back, I was there, and you know, and I'm on the tube, the Piccadilly line in particular, where the seats were opposite somebody, kind of like on a Dublin bus. You know, there's 2 seats, you know, and then there's 2 seats in front of you. So there's a couple sitting right in front of me, like literally, like they're probably on top of me, you know, and you could see everything, you could hear everything that's going on, and see everything what they're doing, you know. It's kind of like, you know, I mean, it wasn't a case of like get a room. Believe me, it was far from that. You know, I said that there would be no song written if that was the case. But basically, there's this couple, and this lad's reading some kind of sports mag. I think it's probably rugby or football. Who knows? You know, probably some Arsenal magazine, and
probably 442 or something like that.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it was. You know, and then the girlfriend's, you know, he's really stuck to the magazine on this, you know, tube ride home, and you know, she's really trying to get his attention, and he's kind of blocking her off, and you know, she puts her hand on his knee and stuff, and you know, and then he brushes that off, and basically he's trying to get attention, and he keeps kind of, you know, blanking her in favor of this magazine. You know, and honestly, and this is happening like right in front of me. I'm like, you know, what? And it's like, are there? And
she was obviously a bit of a cracker, a really good looking girl.
Well, this is what got to me, because it's like, dude, man, you got somebody that looks that good. I said, what should have happened was she should have dumped his ass right then and there on the train, you know, and then maybe dumps would have happened. I don't know.
yeah. But no, that's about the bin man. That's about the bin man.
That bin man. Yeah, the bin man that got dumped. Yeah, or took my bins out anyway, and then got dumped. Yeah, but the whole thing of this whole premise. So I got back to my flat in North London, and you know, I was the riff came into my head first, and then you know. And then somehow I was writing about this experience, that this little soap opera scene that's happening, you know, unfolding in front of me. You know, I said, and then the title just came by accident. You know, Don't Let Her Go.
Because he was sort of blind to, in a way, how good he had it.
Yeah, because you know, because he seemed to have everything, and yet he couldn't appreciate it. You know, and then I thought that again, that line you picked up on the trophy girlfriend, the trophy girlfriend, and I say it with an absolute sneer when I sing it live, because I think it needs to be said that way. It's not a happy thing, you know. I mean, nobody wants to be a trophy of anything, you know what I mean? But that was unfolding, and I just thought, I mean, he couldn't take even a minute to say, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?" I mean, I guess he just wanted to talk. But then again, in fairness, the Piccadilly line is quite noisy anyway for the carriages. But it's just so funny how all this is happening literally like half a meter away from me. It's you're stuck. You're just stuck in these seats, and you have no choice but to either watch a couple arguing or making out. You know what I mean?
How do you do? Is it just particular events or instances that happen to you that would prompt a song? Just when we're looking at that one with a couple opposite you, or like, is there stuff bombarding you all the time as a brilliant songwriter like yourself?
I guess I just wanted to make a commentary. I didn't want to have another song that was autobiographical. Am I giving it away? It's not autobiographical. It's not about me.
Yeah.
Also, that means all your songs are autobiographical. No, they're not all about me. It's kind of nice to write about other people, what you observe around you. It's just like, it's kind of like, when something like that particular, and that only lasted about maybe 7 minutes because I got up toward the end of the line, so they were, in and out, and I was kind of like, I mean, but then you have people, when I tell this story, they're like, oh, were you singing with anybody? I was probably singing with my guitar case from up there.
And is it tough? Like I'm not saying tough. Hopefully, it's you and me know each other long enough that we're good pals and we can chat forever. Is it tough for you as a songwriter? And now from talking to you and others, I can see why people don't explain their songs, because everything then always goes back to you, and you have to keep saying, no, look. Don't let her go. It's nothing to do with me. I saw this couple, and now I can see in a way why some songwriters don't explain their songs and just say, look, you take out of it what you want.
I think that's important too, because we don't want to display everything, and then we could be totally wrong, or they might be easily offended, like they are in today's world. I mean, every little thing, I heard a book, Charlotte's Web, is banned in Los Angeles primary schools. It's about a spider and a pig, for goodness sake. Why would you ban that? You know what I mean? But it's kind of, that kind of thing where you write something and, people like it or they don't like it. Not everything has to be about you. I mean, this is not some kind of, narcissistic trip that, nobody, who wants that? We just want something where, I'm writing about a particular experience that I witnessed and that people might relate to, and then somehow make the song turn into some kind of lesson.
Yeah,
is it a lesson for the girl or
a lesson like you as a teacher and a assistant?
Well, luckily I wrote that song before I was a teacher, so that's all right.
Yeah, but it must be. But I'm just saying, it must be great for you. It must give you a real buzz, say, when you're doing your shows and people come up to you afterwards and say something like, Someway means this to me, and dumped means this, and don't let her go means this. And for you as a songwriter, it must be brilliant for people to take their own interpretations of your songs.
Well, apparently a few babies were made during Whatever Happened to Love. So not that I want to know that, because I'm sitting there, raging. How come I'm not doing anything?
So hold on, I can see it now. I can see the promo for this. Dublin's answer to Barry White. Babies were conceived during my Legacy LP. What happened to love?
Yeah, or maybe during Dumped. I don't know. Maybe.
You never know. Or Someway.
Or Someway he got somebody. I don't know, but no. But I think, in all seriousness, I mean. I'm just a writer like everybody else, And it's like I'm not trying to, preach to anybody. I just say, well, this is what I saw, and take me what you will. It could mean this to me, but it could mean something completely different to you. It wasn't like I was hard up for something to write, but I just thought it was kind of interesting. The scene was unfolding like a video. You could almost say that could actually be the video of the song if that song were ever to be in a video. Yeah, that would probably be the video, I think, And
it would be, and as you said, probably looking back on it now, it would have been probably neglectful for you not to write a song about it happening in front of you.
Well, you see, this goes back to earlier on, because now people probably won't want to hang out with me because they'll be like, oh, he might write about us. I'm like,
you'll have to wear clever disguises.
Yeah, I'll be creeping them in the back, the background. Hey, what's going on there? You know what I mean? It's like, call the police, creeper. But and then also with that song, I got home pretty late that night, so I had to, I couldn't plug in the electric, and luckily my particular guitar can ring out without it being plugged in. Mm-hmm. So I had the cassette player going, and I wrote the riff down and kind of started jamming it away on the cassette player in my little my house share. everybody else
That's
is
great.
fast asleep, and there's me like, don't let her go, da-da-da, da-da-da, and I'm, clang, clang, clang. I think I got it somewhere. It's on a tape somewhere. I'll find it.
You'll find it. Right. Well, listen. Let's have a listen to it. This is "Don't Let Her Go."
All right.
When you see what life has done, can't you see your life begun? She'll love you forever. See what she has to say. Listen to what's been said, or you'll lose her forever. Yeah. Don't let her go. She will let you know. Don't let her go. When you see what's on offer, can't you see what heaven sends? She's your trophy girlfriend.